Welcome to International Business Course. This is unit number 5, deals with exempt trade. In this session, we are going to discuss about the World Trade Organization. Liberalization of business activities is essential for any economic growth. Liberalization brings about liberalized trading in case of imports as well as exports. It brings about more opportunities for expanding globally, more open to foreign participation and technology, improves the competitiveness of the participating companies, and more effective and dynamic firms are being created. Liberalization of trade activities have come to existence through various ways of trade agreements or treaties and international organizations. One such organization plays a significant role in global business environment as World Trade Organization. Before going into the concept of a World Trade Organization, we need to know how this World Trade Organization has been evolved. Previously, we have an agreement called GATT, that is General Agreement on Trade in Tariffs, Trade and Tariffs. This was born in the year 1948 with an objective of liberalizing the trade internationally. The outcome of this was an outcome of the recommendations made by the Bretton Woods Conference held in the year 1944. WTO was not ratified as it was conceived to interfere in the domestic policy making of different countries. GATT was created just a provisional agreement until WTO was formed. This framed the international trading policies, principles, rules, and procedures. The objectives of GATT: expanding international trade, liberalizing trade and bring about economic prosperity, raising standard of living, ensuring full employment, full use of resources of the world, expansion of production and international trade. These were the main objectives of General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs. Coming to the achievements, GATT provides a continuing consultation for dispute settlement in international trade. The main achievement of GATT is the average tariff on manufacturing products in industrial countries was brought down from 40% to 3%. These are the different rounds of conferences that were held at different point of time. In the year 1947, the first round of GATT conferences were held at Geneva, where 23 countries were participated, and they were discussing about the concept of tariffs. Again, in 1949, the second round of discussions were happened with 13 member countries at Annecy, and again, the subject covered was related to international tariffs. In 1951, 30 member countries have participated and discussed about the tariff rates, and it was taking place at Turkey. In 1956, again in Geneva, we had discussions with 26 member countries, and again the subject of discussion was tariffs. So the first 5 rounds of GATT conferences were completely focusing only on the tariffs, international trade tariffs. In the year 1964, the Kennedy round of GATT conference started discussing about the tariffs and anti-dumping measures with 62 member countries. This round was extended till 1967. From 1973 to 79, 1 or 2 member countries have assembled in Tokyo, and they were talking about the tariffs, non-tariff measures, and the framework for agreements. In the year 1986, at Uruguay, the 8th round of GATT conferences were taking place, where 123 member countries were participating in this round. It was called as Uruguay round. This was the lengthiest round of GATT conferences. Here, the subject covered, or the subjects covered, or a variety of concepts like tariffs, non-tariff measures, rules, service-related rules, intellectual property rights, dispute settlements, then creation of WTO, and etc. Actually, this Uruguay round was started in the year 1986 and it extended till 1994. This was actually scheduled to be concluded by December 1990, but extended till 1994 due to the complexities of the issues discussed and the conflicts among the participating member countries. Arthur Dunkel, the Director General of GATT, presented a draft on what the conference would result in. This was popularly called as Dunkel draft. Later, this was modified and enlarged and became the final draft, which was approved by the member countries on 15th December 1994. The final draft was signed by them on 15th April 1994. Until Uruguay round, only tariffs and trade on goods were concentrated. After Uruguay round, the scope was broadened to new areas such as trade in services, trade-related intellectual property rights, and trade-related investment measures. This is the basic difference between GATT and WTO. GATT is formed as a temporary body and was provisional in nature. It has contradicting parties. It allowed existing legislations to continue even if any violations are there. This is considered to be a very less powerful dispute settlement mechanism, and also the decision is also very slow and it is very less efficient, and its ruling can be easily blocked by any interesting member countries. When it comes to WTO, its agreements are permanent. It has members. It does not permit any violation of legislations. This has more powerful than GATT. Dispute settlement is more faster and more efficient, which is very difficult to block the rulings of the WTO. In the year 1995, January 1st, the World Trade Organization was established. Right? The World Trade Organization was essentially an extension of GATT. This is the only global international organization which deals with rules of trade between nations. Agreements are negotiated and signed by the trading countries and ratified by their parliaments. This was the outcome of the lengthy Uruguay round of GATT negotiations. As of now, as on 2016 June, this WTO has 164 member countries. This accounts to about 90% of the world trade. India is one of the members since 1st January 1995. Afghanistan is the latest member, joined from 2016. Around 31 countries are acting as observer government. Decisions are made by the entire membership on a consensus basis. Regarding the organization structure of WTO, at the top level, decision making, it is the ministerial conference, and at the next level, it is the general council, where it will be dealing with trade policy reviewing body and dispute settlement body. This is the overall organization's chart of WTO, ministerial level, general council level, and other different councils. The objective of WTO is to help the producers of goods and services, exporters and importers, to conduct their business at an international level. The main function of WTO is to ensure that trade flows as smoothly, predictably, and freely as possible. Coming to the functions of WTO, the main objective of the WTO is achieved by the following functions: ensuring that rules are transparent and predictable, settling trade-related disputes, administering trade agreements, acting as a forum for trade negotiations, reviewing national-wide trade policies, assisting developing countries in trade policy issues through technical assistance and training programs, Cooperating with international organization. These are the different functions of WTO. Coming to the principles of WTO, trade without discrimination. That is the first principle of WTO. So most favored nations treatment. No special deals for trading partners or members of WTO must be treated as the same. No national special treatment. Locals and foreigners are treated equally. The second principle of WTO is free trade. Third principle is predictability through binding, predictability through binding. Promising not to raise tariff is called binding. Promoting fair competition, encouraging development and economic reforms. The impact of WTO. WTO's impact can be assessed at 3 different levels. Until Uruguay round, that various rounds of negotiations were dealing with only with the trade and tariffs. Only after Uruguay round, they started discussing on trading in services, in international investments, and protecting the intellectual property rights. All right. So GATS and GATT, liberalization of trade in goods and services. Liberalizing the trade in goods and services increases the competition from foreign goods and services. This facilitates global sourcing of materials. This also provides opportunity for Indian firms to export to other international markets. TRIPS, trade-related intellectual property rights. This provides a monopoly power to the owners of intellectual property. TRIMS, liberalization of international investments. Thus, liberalization of international investments increases the foreign investments and competition from foreign firms. This also facilitates the joint venture and technological acquisitions. This is also facilitating the foreign investment by Indian firms through joint ventures. Here are some of the abbreviations related to the WTO. WTO means World Trade Organization. GATT means General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs and Trade. GATS mean a General Agreement on Trade in Services. TRIPS, trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights. TRIMS, trade-related investment measures. UR means Uruguay round. MFN means most favored nations. TNC means trade negotiations and committees. IMF, International Monetary Fund. MTN, multinational trade negotiations. NTB, non-trade barriers. IBRD, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. IDA, International Development Association. And finally, MFA, Multi-Fiber Agreement. So for more information on the functioning of WTO, you can visit to www.wto.org. I hope you got an overview about the international organization, WTO. Thank you.